Some people are making almost $4,000 a month running passive income Flux nodes, and you can too. You may be wondering, what the flux are Flux nodes? So we're gonna go over everything you need to know about Flux nodes, what they are, how they can make you passive income, and then the huge changes that will be coming to Flux nodes in 2022. Also, this is not a sponsored video. Everything I'm about to say in this video is 100% my own opinion. Because there's no sponsor, be sure to go give this video a like. It really helps my channel and this video reach more people. So, Flux nodes. Flux is a decentralized computing network that's supposed to be the Web3 equivalent to the Web2 AWS's and Microsoft's out there. Flux basically claims that they're on the forefront of computing services in the Web3 decentralized network. Now, to simplify it a little, this Flux network runs on a bunch of Flux nodes. Now, because Flux is decentralized, going to that Web3 infrastructure, you and I are actually going to be the Flux node operators. That's right, no more Jeff Bezos and AWS sucking up all the money for cloud computing infrastructure. You'll be able to run your own Flux nodes to help Web3 really take off with the computational infrastructure. Now, a huge incentive for you and I doing this is that you get rewards for running these Flux nodes. Now, because Flux has its own coin, you'll get rewards in Flux Coin or Flux Crypto. Currently, there are 3 different tiers of nodes that you can run, and each node is based on computational power. Meaning the bigger the computer, the better processing power, the more rewards you're going to be able to earn. I'll pop up the node requirements up on the screen right now. As you guys can see, there are currently 3 different tiers of Flux nodes that you can actually run. There's Cumulus, Nimbus, and Stratus. Now, the catch here is to actually run one of these nodes, you have to put collateral down in terms of Flux coin to actually be able to run these nodes. You can see for the lowest tier, the Cumulus node, you have to put down 10,000 Flux as collateral. Meaning, as long as you want to run that Cumulus node, that 10,000 Flux will be locked up. Because Flux right now is at $2.37, that means you're going to have $23,700 to run the lowest tier Cumulus node. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not have that much money sitting around where I want to lock it up to run one of these nodes. But don't click off this video just yet, because Flux announced that they're going to be lowering these collaterals and even introducing new tiers for as low as 5 Flux. That's right, by the end of 2022, you'll be able to get in for as little as $10 to $20. Before we get to the return on investment and how much you'll actually make running one of these nodes, let me just go over with you the requirements for the lowest tier Cumulus node. You can see the computing power right here that is needed is going to be 2 virtual cores, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 50 gigs of either hard drive or solid state drive storage, and 2.5 terabytes of bandwidth. Now, to run one of these Flux nodes, you're gonna either need to buy a virtual private server, meaning you're going to someone and saying, hey, I wanna rent out this server with these specs. That's the cheapest option, and to run a VPS with all the requirements for a Cumulus node is estimated to be only around $7 to $10 a month. Now, if you don't wanna rent virtual private servers or VPSs, you can buy your own hardware. Whether it be you have a really good gaming rig or you have a Raspberry Pi that you're not using, if you meet the requirements, you can run a Flux node on those systems. So let's get to the rewards of these Flux nodes. So right now you can see I'm at home.runonflux.io. This shows you everything you need to know about Flux nodes, the Flux network, and the economics behind it. So you can see right now, as I said earlier, the pricing for Flux right now is $2.36. Now, this is down on the day about 10 to 15%. Yesterday it was around $2.70, $2.80 a coin. So if we scroll all the way down to the profitability per month of a Cumulus node, it is $325. Now, that will go up or down based on the actual price of Flux. And then from there, a Nimbus node will net you $830 a month, and a Stratus node will yield you $3,300 per month. And again, you can run any of these on virtual private servers or your own server at home, but you may be thinking, look, Nick, I don't have that much money. Heck, for a STRATUS node, I would need over $200,000. And I fully agree with you, I would never pay that much money to run one of these nodes. But Flux obviously realizes this, and they're giving us new tiers to make it easier for consumers like you and I to get in on Flux and the Flux network. And this will start in 2022. For those 3 nodes, they're actually going to be lowering the collateral required to run a Cumulus, Nimbus, and STRATUS node. If you look at this chart right here, you can see a Cumulus node, the new collateral is only 1,000 Flux, meaning right now you'd only have to spend around $2,300 to $2,400 to get one of these nodes up and running. This is expected to happen around March, and following suit, the Nimbus and STRATUS node collaterals have also come down to 12,500 Flux and 40,000 Flux. Now here's the one catch of these collaterals coming down, is that the actual requirements for these nodes will be going up, meaning you're going to need more CPU power, memory, and storage to keep these nodes running. Now this will affect you if you have a VPS or you need to upgrade hardware, because it will be a little more expensive to run these nodes, but not too much more expensive. The other catch here is because the collaterals are lowering, there's going to be more people that can get into the Flux node network. I'm assuming the rewards for these will drastically decrease because of the new availability that you and I can have investing into Flux nodes. So there are 3 tiers that they have now. The collaterals will be coming down, but then as you can see here, there are 2 new Flux node tiers that are really going to be helping you and I. First, there's the Cirrus node, which is coming Q3 to Q4 of this year, and the collateral for one of these nodes is going to be somewhere in between 5 and 100 Flux. This is their new entry-level off-chain solution for Flux nodes. It's to get someone from a beginner to intermediate level actually running one of these nodes to see what it's like. Because to be honest, getting in on even a Cumulus node at 1,000 Flux, which is between 2,000 and 3,000 as Flux coin sits right now, that's a huge investment for someone that is just getting into the crypto game or just getting into the Web3 decentralized cloud computing game. It does look like this Cirrus node is more geared towards these small computational platforms like Raspberry Pis or NVIDIA Jetsons. I think when these collaterals lower and the new Cirrus node is brought into the fold, I bet you that Flux price will skyrocket. The one thing about decentralized computing like Flux is trying to do is it really only works if the masses are using it. Lowering these collaterals will help everyone be able to run one of these nodes. Currently, there are only about 2,000 to 3,000 nodes running actively in the Flux network. So expect there to be way more nodes than that relatively soon once they do lower these collaterals, but there is one more thing that is huge for Flux nodes, and that's Project Titan. So you can see that also is supposed to be coming around Q3 to Q4 of 2022, and the collateral behind this will be somewhere between 250 to 10,000 Flux. Now this is almost like the easy button.
That was easy.
Because they're saying that this is a shared solution, meaning you're not going to need to run your own Flux node. You can actually put your money into a pool that will be running a bunch of other Flux nodes. This will be amazing for entry-level users that don't want to maintain and set up their own Flux node. You also won't have to rely on third parties. You can set up all of this in the Zelle Core wallet, which is also owned by Flux. Alright, now I'm going to do a little math for you because I'm really thinking, is running one of these nodes actually worth it? So let's just take a Cumulus node for example, because those are the most likely for entry-level users to actually go and buy, although it is super expensive right now, so I'm really talking when these come down. Okay, so 10,000 Flux is what you'll need to put in. I'm not going to be doing this with US dollar because obviously Flux price can change, but 1 Flux is always going to be 1 Flux. So let's say you're putting in 10,000 in collateral, it's going to be locked up. So for the Cumulus node right now, they're going to be estimating you're getting around 94 Flux and 47 Flux tokens. Now these are valued at the same. I'm not going to be going into detail right now on what the difference is between Flux and Flux tokens, but their value is the same. So all in all per month, you're going to be getting 141 Flux. So 141 Flux times 12, so we're going for a yearly amount here. That's going to be almost 1,700 Flux. Now remember, you put 10,000 Flux in the beginning on this. So we're gonna divide this 1,692 Flux number by 10,000. And this gets me 16.9% return. So if we're strictly speaking return on investment here, this is actually a really, really good number. Now the one huge variable here is whether or not Flux coin price will stay stagnant, grow, or even drop. Now some are predicting that Flux coin will go to $3, $4 sometime in 2022, and I can even see it going higher than that. I think the one telling factor is what happens when these collaterals go down. Will Flux price skyrocket because everyone can enter at a lower level? Or will Flux drop because now it's easier for the masses to get their hands on Flux nodes? If it were me, I'd probably bet that this will go up right now from around $2.30. It has hit above $3 this past month. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I do long-term investing. I don't go for these short plays. So I do think running a Flux node, if you can afford it, is a great play. Now, if you don't think running a Flux node is for you, but you still want to earn passive income on Flux, click here and I'll show you how to do Flux staking.